Welcome to Mount Carmel Area High School Red Tornado football tonight. From the famed Silver Bowl, the snowy Silver Bowl, the Red Tornadoes of Mount Carmel area coming in here at 12-0. Play host to the Warriors from Montoursville High School as they come in to play the District 4 2A championship game here. A bit of an oddity, Wayne. First time the Red Tornadoes have played in 3 District 4 games. Usually it was a 2-game series.
That's right.
With the expansion to 8 teams, it's 3 games before you go into the state playoffs. So this one determines who moves into inter-district play next week. That game would be at Hershey, and we'll talk about that later on. But tonight, it's the Red Tornadoes against the Warriors. The Warriors coming into this contest 10-2. They lost a heartbreaker to Southern Columbia area in the midseason there in a comeback win in the fourth quarter for the Tigers.
Yep.
And then they got pretty well shellacked by the Seals of Sillings Grove later in the season. They weren't even in that game, 40-7, I believe it was. So other than that, they're unblemished. Coming out of the Heartland Conference, of course, with Mount Carmel area, they're actually in District 1 or in
Division 1.
Division 1. We're in Division 2.
Yep.
So it promises to be a great game. And I'll tell you what, if you want to look at this game, it's a tale of 2 cities, so to speak. You've got the Red Tornadoes coming in here with a high-powered, multi-formation offense that runs and throws and does everything you can think of. You got the Warriors coming into this game, and basically they run. That's it. Nothing else.
Nope.
I can't tell you they can do anything else. They run the ball. That's it. And they do it very well. They run for over 2,800 yards in the season. Mount Carmel about 2,500 yards or 2,600. Interesting enough, in Mount Carmel, they probably spread it among 7 to 10 players. in the Montoursville side of the ball, 2 players have carried the absolute 90% of the carries.
Yes.
Go to 2 players, Halp and Sillo.
Sillo has about 1,300 yards on the ground. Halp has about 1,200 yards on the ground. So they're the meat and butter of this team. The passing attack for Montoursville, they have about 385 yards on the season. I think our boy Matt Morose has that much himself. So they're not going to be a passing team. They have a new quarterback, first year. He's only a sophomore. That might be the reason why. But, the Tornadoes should be coming out smelling blood right about this point for the simple reason of being forced into playing a game last year, the first round of district playoffs, in a torrential downpour. And even though we were sort of banged up and everything, I think our boys were a little humiliated last year walking off the field. So they're down there. They're all ready. We were out on the field early on. The field is in fairly good shape, especially with the weather and the way it was. Our hats off to all of the 50 volunteers that came down, the teachers that came over from the high school to shovel off the snow, not only last night, but also today, because it snowed so heavily last night. But what great presence this community has to come down and support these great athletes, the Tornadoes, by spending their morning. And it was cold all day today.
Well, actually, the effort began last night at 8 o'clock or about 7:30 with the first wave of snow. We had about 12 to 15 volunteers down here, and then overnight, of course, it's kept snowing. It never stopped snowing overnight and kept giving a dusting. And so they were talking about it this morning. And these people came from all walks of life here in the Mount Carmel area, just brought a shovel and showed up. Special thanks to Landscape Services. Their crews worked the entire night clearing snow from their own, from their contracted parking lots and pavements and things. And at the end of that shift, they came down with their big backpack-mounted snow blowers and helped blow the field off. So a big thank you to Landscape Services and all the volunteers. The field would not look like this without those people coming down. You can see there's a lot of snow here. It was an interesting evening. The field itself, while a little bit slick, is in pretty good condition for this time of the year and these conditions now. The weather to start this game, folks, it's cold. It's about 23 degrees right now. It will fall into the teens before the end of the night. There is a threat of some more flurries. It's not going to be much of an accumulation, but it's an interestingly cold night. The coldest night we've spent in a long time, actually, at a football game. So we're looking out in front of us, and they're bundled up. But again, this will be a very interesting football game because of the contrasting styles of these two teams. You very seldom run into a game of this magnitude this late in the season with two teams that are so completely opposite of each other in how they go about winning a football game.
Well, we have Washaleski on the side of Tornadoes setting so many records so far this year. touchdown passes, total yardage, the whole package. Last week, the team looked, they came out to play. They were crisp. They were sharp. Everything that Marcus threw up was caught. I think he only had 2 missed catches. He had 14, I think, on the night, 14 out of 16. But again, he has a great eye on the field. He spreads the ball around between Moreau's, Kovaleski, Pulowski's out there, Morgan. So he has enough of receivers also. So, on the ground, we have about 2,500 yards in the air, well over 1,500, 1,600 yards. So we do have a diversified offense to come out. On the defensive side, we will stick with our 5-2, cover everybody close. But I think tonight people are going to see everybody up in the box. We're going to make sure that, we contain on the line, keep everybody close at hand. 1 or 2 guys back because they will throw to their tight end. It's going to be a delayed pass if they throw it all. For 380-some yards, they really didn't throw too much this year.
Now the other aspect of this Montoursville Warrior team is they are the biggest team we've seen by far this year. They are giants out there. They've got some guys out there, 2 or 3 guys on the line that are 290, 285.
The front actually averages 6'2", 245 pounds per man. You are right. They have 6'5", 290-pound senior Casico and a 6'4", 270 the tight end, Marshalik. So you got some big targets, especially with that tight end out there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. They're a very physical team. They come at you, they run hard at you, and the Red Tornadoes are going to have to be ready. It may be the most physical game they're going to play so far this year when they meet up against the Warriors here tonight. Again, the Warriors need to look on the other side of this. They need to look at a Mount Carmel area team that is so completely balanced, it's almost impossible to decide what you're going to try to take away from them. They can throw the ball as equally well as they can run the ball. Yep. They come out of just untold amount of offensive sets. You can't just every week there's a new one. They just keep finding new ways to line up and come at you. So that's a real problem for the Warrior defense coming in the game is who they're going to key on, how they're going to stop the pass, and at the same time stop the run. Because as soon as they loosen up a little bit and go into a pass defense, obviously that opens up the run.
That's right.
So it's going to be an interesting strategy to see how these two teams go about attacking this football game. And it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. The Red Tornadoes, the last point here would probably be if there's speed on the field, it belongs to the Red Tornadoes. They're probably the quicker team when you look at them across the board compared to the Warriors. But again, this field may negate some of that quickness just in the fact that there's still some snow on it, and it is extremely slippery. We were out there. Once you get over on that one layer, you're pretty much in trouble after that.
You got about an inch to an inch and a half of soft material, but after that, it is hard. It's hard as a rock, so it's sort of like running on a pavement, concrete a little bit. You're going to have to make sure of your footing. We saw some of the athletes on both sides of the field here as they were warming up, slipping.
All right, you can see the Warriors will be receiving the football to start this game. The Red Tornadoes will be kicking off, of course, Menepace, the big guy, number 88, doing the kickoff duties. He averages about 60 yards a kickoff. He's had 7 touchbacks on the season, so he's kicking very well. And he'll be getting this game underway as soon as both teams go into their huddle.
He'll be kicking to the south end zone, and that's going to be with the wind. There is a stiff breeze since we've come out. It's blowing from north to south here, and we'll be kicking with the wind.
Well, this is football weather in cold country.
Yep.
It's cold. There's snow on the ground. Everybody's bundled up, and the teams are taking the field. So, again, this is going to be who can put this weather out of their mind and play their game is really what it's going to come down to. Red Tornadoes are out there, and here comes the Warriors going down deep for the Warriors. Will be number 31, and that is Haupt, and he's the dangerous guy in the backfield.
28.
He's going to be joined there by 28 and number 20. 28 is going to be Russell, and 20 will be Sillo. Russell, the deep guy, and Haupt and Sillo, the two closer guys. They're the guys that are the backfield combination. Now, they have not run a lot back. They don't average a lot of run back yardage when you look at them throughout the whole year. So far, that's not been the threat. A lot of teams, you don't need to kick away
Right.
from them, so to speak, when you see them. Actually, Russell's now over on the far side, and Silla will be in the middle, number 20. And this game is underway. A long kick all the way down to the 5-yard line, and that's Hopt at the 5. Hopt is hit very quickly, and Hopt, a nice run back along the Red Tornado sideline. He'll take it up over the 20-yard line, and they'll put him out of bounds at the, about the 25. We're going to see where they finally put it down because he walked away from the spot. But somewhere around the 25-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10.
Matt Dietz, number 47, was the last one to hit Silo. Great run, hard hits down there on about the 10-yard line, 15, and then he was taken out in about the 23.
That was Menepace also on that hit down there. So Singer will bring him up, the sophomore quarterback. They're in a split backfield, and that's the backfield you're going to see them in a lot.
Ball's on the ground.
Ball's on the ground. A fumble very early. He never got the ball from the center, never.
Stacked in on him real quick, along with McCullum. Loss of about a yard on the play.
We'll bring up 2nd down and 11 now. Again, there's the first example of the really cold weather.
Yep.
You can prepare for it all you want, but that first snap of that ball in your hand hurts. All right, we stay in that split backfield with Hop and Sillo. And this will be Sillo behind Hop, and Sillo's going to be stopped down there by Trevor Demko. He had his hands around the top, and he had some help down there from Moroz.
Moroz came up very quickly and came into the gap and made the tackle close to the line of scrimmage. Pick up of maybe a yard on that play.
Yeah, we're going to call it 3rd and 10. It's close enough to the yard marker to be 10 yards. So 3rd and 10 now for the Warriors, and this is where they would have a problem in that, again, not a prolific passing team.
Right.
Again, with a sophomore quarterback, this is his first year starting. So they've kept it, pretty easy on him. They don't need to throw the ball because they have 2 great runners behind them. Singer keeps it on a keeper, and he's trying to find some room in there, and he will not pick up the 1st down as he takes it out to about the 27-yard line. It's 4th down.
McCullum and Kolokas make the hit that time.
So a punt formation now for the Warriors. Coming in, the punt for them will be number 67, and that's Blake Beresford. He does the kicking duties for them.
Yep.
He averages about 32 yards a kick over the season here. And he has a nice high kick, and it's going to be Moroz at his own 40-yard line. Moroz heading to the Montoursville side of the field. Now he cuts up the middle. Moroz has some running room.
Nice.
Moroz takes it up to the 50-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10. Red Tornadoes at midfield.
Moroz on a run back of about 12 yards for the Tornadoes. Tried to set up a wall facing the Montoursville bench, but sort of got blocked up. He could not make the turnaround. Comes back to the 50-yard line.
Okay, Montoursville will come out. They'll be playing about what looks like a 4-4 defense.
Yep.
And 4 linebackers, 4 down men. Now, again, you'll see variations of that as we hear last night at Supper Club. They're going to try to adjust to our passing game and try to help out a little bit. The Red Tornadoes come out in an I formation, and it's going to be
Julius
Demetrius. And Demetrius will pick up about 3 yards on the play down to the 47-yard line where it'll be 2nd down and 7. He had Goins in front of him in that backfield as the fullback.
Sam Shaheen, number 53, makes the initial hit and the tackle for the Warriors.
Now McCullum goes into the Red Tornado line. It's the second game we've seen him in the offensive side of the ball. We saw him the first time ever last week against Lewisburg, and now we see him back in again here against the Warriors. So the Red Tornadoes, and he's going to line up actually in that fullback spot. So he lines up as the fullback. Now we go into a split backfield as Demetrius and he are side by side behind Wasilewski. And it's Demetrius again, and Demetrius trying to find some room outside, and Demetrius finds some room. Demetrius is loose along the Montoursville sideline, and he's going to be driven out along the 15-yard line by Christini, but a big run by Julius Demetrius.
That play was supposed to be off tackle. It was a power to the left side. Julius Demetrius bounces off the back of, I guess it was McCullum, and kicks to the outside and outran the corner. Corner came up to make the tackle, but didn't have a very good angle on him, and Demetrius takes the ball all the way down to about inside the 15-yard line for the Tornadoes.
Okay, 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes. They come out in that I formation now, and now it's Goins again in front of Demetrius for the Red Tornadoes. And it's Demetrius, and Demetrius now trying to find some room
again
in the
to
middle.
the outside. Good stiff arm.
He breaks it outside. He makes the cut. He takes it inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. He's going to be stopped down there by Sillo, but a nice run by Demetrius.
I'll tell you what, we have people listening on the webcast, and I just wish they could see the stiff arm that Julius Demetrius with his left arm. The cornerback came up to make the tackle, and he shoved the kid's head right down into the ground and picked up 5 yards on that run.
It's going to bring up 2nd down and 5 for the Red Tornadoes. The ball just inside the 10-yard line of the Warriors. We go into a single back set. Demetrius, the lone back in front of Wasilewski, and Pulowski comes in motion. And Pulowski has the ball. Pulowski trying to find the corner at the 10.
And he does.
And
touchdown.
Pulowski's in. Touchdown. Red Tornadoes. A 9-yard run by Justin Pulowski, and the Red Tornadoes are on the board at the 8-10 mark of the first quarter.
Great run, and we've run that play since day one from the very first kickoff so many times, but we're starting to run that with such perfection that it's giving Pulowski, and everybody's blocking downfield perfectly. And I'll tell you what, it has to hurt a little bit because Coach Brennan's now beating them at their own game.
You can see Pulowski make the turn, and again, what I told you has been evident so far. The speed of this football game is in the Red Tornadoes' hands right now. They are a quicker team to the outside, and the Warriors, at least on this first offensive series, has had trouble defending the end.
That's right.
Menapace in to attempt the extra point. Moreau's the holder. Menapace puts it up, and he is good. So the score now 7-0 Red Tornadoes here in this District 4 championship game in the Silver Bowl.
8 minutes and 10 seconds left in the first quarter. Great series of calls. Coach Brennan didn't even think about a pass that time. In fact, if you looked at the formations, everything was tight. We kept everything a slot man on the right or on the left, very, very close to the tight end. We kept everything close to our vest and just ran it down their throat.
Now the other factor in this game, and this is something that the Warriors have not run up against at all, is that maybe what Sydney's wrote is once they get behind, if you get behind in this game by a couple of touchdowns, when you're a strictly running team, you definitely limit your options, because even early in the game when you're behind, the clock becomes your enemy because all you do is run. You don't move the ball down the field, and especially in big chunks usually. So that has to be something in the back of Coach Bergen's mind there as they got down very early in this football game, 7-0. All right, Menapace tees it up, and he's getting ready to kick it back off. Sillo, the guy down there in the middle again, Russell and Haupt. They're up around their 10. Sillo's down around his 5. This time it goes the other direction, and you're going to have I'm going to say there's a flag, but I don't see one.
I don't either.
There's no flag on the ground, but we stopped play here, so let's wait and see what they tell us happened here.
Maybe they weren't ready.
Maybe they weren't ready. I
That's
don't
true.
know. That's what he may have kicked it before they raised their hand. I don't know. There's no penalty. They're not moving the ball back, so they're going to re-kick again. So he did kick it before the official was ready. The official's now giving him a lecture and saying, make sure that guy stuck his hand up before you kick. So Menapace says, okay, I'll watch him this time, and I'll get ready again.
Now we have two guys on the 40-yard line for offsides. We have two guys on the 50 in case the ball hits the ground. It's got to go 10 yards, so they want to make sure those two referees make that call.
All right, a high kick. This time Haupt down around the 10-yard line, and Haupt brings it upfield. Haupt a nice head of steam, and Haupt's going to be brought down by Dietz, number 47. He tripped him up. The ball will be put down at the about the 27-yard line, just about the 28-yard line of the Warriors, where it'll be 1st and 10 Warriors.
Dietz is 2 for 2 for tonight on kickoffs. He's made the tackle and out of bounds on the opening kickoff.
All right. Singer will bring him up. Again, it's Sillo and Haupt, and they're seated side by side there. And it goes to the up man.
Straight dive play.
And the up man is going to be Haupt, and Haupt will gain about 3 yards in the play out to about the 31-yard, and it'll be 2nd down and 7. Neither one of the running backs, for as prolific as they are very big. You got Silo, he comes in about 5'11", 165 pounds, and hopped about 6'1", 190.
Yeah.
A little bigger of the two there, but neither one of them very imposing, as you would think a runner with those kind of gaudy stats are out there. All right, McNamara now into an I formation. McNamara comes in as the fullback. He'll do the blocking for Hop, and he missed McCullum.
Passing wise, I don't think Montoursville is going to come out and really hurt us that much, especially with the pass defense that the Tornadoes put on the field.
All right, the Warriors will go back and prepare for their third kickoff return of the evening so far. Same guy, Russell's 28, Sillo in the middle, Hop on the near side here. Sillo standing about his 5-yard line. The other two guys up around the 15, 14-yard line where they'll line up. Metapace gets ready to kick. He signals that he's ready, but we're going to wait and see to make sure everybody else is ready. And they signal that they are now ready. Not yet.
All hands are up.
They take a lot of time on this, don't they? Okay, and he lets it rip. And this is a deep kick into the end zone, 4 yards into the end zone. It's a touchback. That's his 8th touchback of the year. And the Warriors will have it 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. When he gets it, he gets it. I'll say that for him. The big guy can lay it out there when he finds that exact sweet spot on the ball. He can let it rip. So 1st and 10 Warriors. And they'll come out, and again, they're going to come out, and this time they're going to come out again in that I formation. Going to leave the big guy, McNamara, and he's going to be in front of Haupt. Or no, Sillo. I'm sorry, that's Sillo. And Sillo is going to gain about 3 yards on the play. He'll bring up 2nd down and 7. Getting off the bottom of the pile for the Red Tornadoes is going to be, looks like Morose came off there. McCullum helped out in there.
There was a whole host. There were about 5 guys that got off the pile that time. Pinching right into the center, the Tornadoes are playing the defense exactly what needs to be done.
Now they put McNamara in there. Yes. McNamara is 6'1", 220. They put him in for some size, and that's exactly what they want. They want a blocking fullback in this formation. So they are again in that same formation with Sillo as the tailback as Singer calls him out. It goes to
straight dive.
It goes to Sillo. He went the other way. He went the opposite way.
Again, Moreau's back deep for the Tornadoes, along with DeMarco standing in front.
Moreau takes it at his 48-yard line. A nice block by McCullum.
Yep.
And Moreau takes it inside the 45 down to the Warrior 44-yard line. It has been all Red Tornado in the field position game.
Yes, and they've been winning this war. They're picking up a yard here, a yard there. Now we're 44 on the 44-yard line. Everything's been in the Warrior end of the field. So, and we've seen this a number of times this year. Once the Tornadoes start picking up that advantage, their enthusiasm picks up and the game gets out of hand.
All right, 1st and 10. We're going to leave Pulowski as the lone back. Everybody is out to the right of the formation, and it's Pulowski on a deep handoff, and Pulowski has the corner. Pulowski has the corner. He's down the field. Pulowski's still on his feet all the way down to the Warrior 18-yard line.
That was a delayed handoff. If you take a look, it sort of looks like an option play, but Pulowski is the only one getting the ball. As he goes off, he's taking around the end, but Wasilewski is running with the ball all the way down to about the tight end position before he hands it off to Pulowski.
1st and 10, Red Tornadoes from the Warrior 18-yard line. They lead 14-0, and they're pounding on the door again.
Morgan brings the play in for the Tornadoes.
This time we'll go into an I formation here. He's going to leave Goins, and now he's going to move Goins. It's going to be kind of that broken I formation as Goins moves out of the way. And he's going to lead Demetrius around the corner. This time the Warriors saw that play, and a nice play by the Warriors. Sillo on the stop there, and he stopped back at the 21-yard line, a loss of about 3 on the play.
Yeah,
they saw that play from the beginning, and Sillo made a nice play coming up quickly out of that corner spot and dropping Demetrius. First time we didn't have the corner so far tonight.
What happened was when Goins came over into that position, the defense hedged to the left, and they filled up the zone a little bit, came up into the box a little bit more.
All right, back in the I formation. Now it's Demetrius in front of Pulowski. We fake it to everybody, and we throw it to Pulowski. Pulowski's going to have to get around Haupt, and he's not. Well, he does do it. I'm sorry, he does do it. Actually, that was Wes Smith he had to get around. Smith was trying to make the tackle, and he got around Smith, but the rest of those guys caught up to him about the 19-yard line. So it's going to bring up a big 3rd down. It's going to be 3rd down and 13.
Now that time, I'll tell you what, everybody was out on the pattern. They left Colin Menepace completely alone, standing on the 5-yard line. Nobody even covered him.
Well, we've thrown the ball only to the backs and to the side here. My guess is we're going to be going down the middle of the field sooner or later here. Okay, shotgun formation on the 3rd down play. Demetrius standing next to Wasilewski. Demetrius will stay here. A lot of time. He throws it downfield, and it's Moreau's. And Moreau's, I'm going to see. No, he was out of bounds. He had stepped out of bounds when he caught it.
Yep. Right there. And I'll tell you what, you see the strength on Wasilewski. That was flat-footed, leaning backwards. That was all arm, and he still puts it on the money. Unfortunately, Moreau's his heels were standing on the line.
He was just outside, but he was out. Both of them saw. Both of the referees saw it. Both of them were standing there.
And the amazing part about it was he was covered very well, and the defender left him go, never thinking that he was going to catch the ball.
Mm-hmm. All right, now it's 4th down. Ball at the Warrior 21-yard line. 4th down and 13. And the Red Tornadoes will line up in a shotgun. This time both backs will be standing next to Wasilewski. You have one guy wide right, one guy short side left.
Over the middle. Look at this. Colin Menepace.
And there's Menepace and the big guy all the way down to the 2-yard line. The stop made down there by Russell, but as I said, they'll go down the middle, and they did.
Yep, Colin Menepace. And if you take a look at that formation, we kicked both halfbacks, one to the right and one to the left, and that spread the 2 linebackers out because they're keying on him. Colin Menepace down
watch
the
middle. Run. Watch the run here.
Yep.
Look at how big he is, and yet how he was able to jump over that guy, and just outside of it there at the 2-yard line. So it's 1st and goal. Red Tornadoes. I formation. Demetrius in front of Pulowski. We have 2 guys out to the right, no one to the left, and it's Demetrius, and Demetrius trying to pound his way in. Touchdown, Julius Demetrius. And the Red Tornadoes are now running roughshod on the Warriors.
The number 33 came up from that corner position. Kramer tried to make the tackle on the 2-yard line, and Demetrius just ran right over the top of him and scores.
33 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. The Red Tornadoes up 20-0. with the extra point attempt to come, and this is not how Montoursville pictured this championship game here.
Again, what's going to happen is they're going to get tired, because I'm sure the possession for Mount Carmel is outstanding at this point in time-wise. So their defense is on the field quite a bit.
Well, they haven't
since the beginning of the
they don't have a
game.
first down yet.
Right, exactly.
All right, Menapace in, puts it up, and Menapace going to boot it over to Boyers that time, as it is good. It's 21-0. Red Tornadoes, and it's all Red Tornadoes so far tonight here at the Silver Bowl. This is a District 4 2A championship game, folks. This is the game that sends you into the state playoff.
Right.
And the Red Tornadoes playing like they want to get there.
Yeah, interregional. And whoever wins here ends up going down to play at Hershey Park next week. 33 seconds left in the first quarter, with Colin Menapace coming out to kick off.
Well, it's the fourth kickoff in the first quarter for Menapace, so his leg is getting a little tired. He had 3 extra points, so that's 7 kicks he's made so far here. We're not even out of the first quarter. So if nothing else, he'll be warm.
That's for sure.
The Red Tornadoes, at least at this point in the game, not looking like they're cold at all. And the Warriors looking extremely stiff, to tell you the truth. They're having a hard time getting on track here in this football game. And as I said at the start of the game, the very worst possible scenario now for the Warriors is that they're playing from behind. And without a really effective passing game, playing from behind is extremely tough.
Yeah, it's tough. And again, we alluded to the statistics with their 2 halfbacks carrying 95% of the time, picking up about 2,500 yards out of 2,600 that they had all season long. So, you're keying on 2 guys. That's all you have to do.
Yep.
So your defense is going to, I mean, you're schooled. Here they are. They looked at the films. This is what they're going to run, and the Tornadoes have done an excellent job this week.
All right, Menapace lets it rip straight down the field, right to Sillo, right at the 5, and it got through his legs. He picks it back up at the 1. Sillo trying to find some room, and they're going to crush him down there. And they do. That's Dietz. And number 31 for the Red Tornadoes getting off the bottom of that pile, Hoskins.
Great hit by the 2 of them. My goodness.
Well, it scooted through his legs, and that's where things went wrong to begin with, and that just gave him too much time to cover him. So the Warriors now in the worst field position of the evening so far, as they'll start 1st and 10 from their own 9. So, again, they just cannot catch a break here, at least so far. Now they're going to line up in a full house backfield. First, we've seen this formation tonight. And it's going to be Sillo, and Sillo trying to find some opening, and he gets a nice run out to the 15-yard line. A gain of about 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 4.
Mirror image of the Tornadoes powerhouse. They do come off tackle, and that's where Sillo came through at. They come through right off tackle. He cuts back into the center, picks up about 6 yards that time. Ball's placed on about the 16-yard line.
Well, they're coming out now, and what they're doing is they're coming out in a 2 fullback position here with Haupt and McNamara in the fullback spot. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the first quarter of play at the Silver Bowl. In this District 4 2A championship game, it's the Red Tornadoes 21, the Montoursville Warriors 0. All Red Tornadoes in the first quarter, Wayne.
Well, both offense and defense. They're just playing an outstanding game. They're just doing they're just playing fantastic ball. They're, must have looked at films all week, seen what was going on, this and that. Plus, I think because last year and what had happened last year in the district playoff, I think sort of has, our guys. And they actually, at the end of the game last year, in the huddle, the returning juniors and underclassmen made a pledge that if they ever got to this point with Montoursville, they would never let that happen again. So, they got here. This is what the Tornadoes wanted, and of course they're certainly playing far and above.
They lost that Montoursville game last year. It was the first round of the District 4 2A playoffs. They lost it 3-0 on a late field goal.
Yep.
It not only rained as hard as it could, but we had about a 40, 50-mile-an-hour wind gust. They were blowing trees down around us at that point. And the Red Tornadoes, as you said, left with a bad taste in their mouth after that football game. They really felt they should have won the game. So not very often you get to play a team a second time in a row in a big game, and they now have their chance to show Montoursville how mad they were. Again, that full house backfield for the Warriors.
Take a look at Tornadoes. Everybody's up in the box.
And it's going to go to Silo once again, and this time it's going to be Morgan.
Yep.
And Morgan whacks, not Silo, it's Haupt this time.
Haupt.
Haupt on the carry, but Morgan whacks him down. He gains about a yard in the play, and again it's third down for the Warriors, third and about 3.
Savitsky that time, number 74, actually came from the nose guard position and kicked him to the outside. And take a look at this.
I'll tell you, Morgan stood him up.
Yep.
Morgan just stood him up. That's a good tackle by a cornerback coming up on run support. All right, third down now from the 16 of the Warriors. They remain in the full house backfield. And we're going to go to Silo, and Silo's going to pick up some yards. Silo's loose. Silo's loose in the Red Tornado backfield. He's on the run. It's going to take Kowaleski to bring him down, and Kowaleski does it not before Silo takes it down to the 12-yard line of the Red Tornadoes. What a run by Silo.
Silo makes a nice run off tackle, going left that time, and breaks it right through. The Tornadoes, again, playing very close. They come up inside the box. They left one person back, and, of course, Kowaleski, he made the smart move. He made sure he got close enough to make the tackle. He did not try to make a tackle on about the 30-yard line. He was too far away at that point.
All right, 1st and 10. They put the ball down at the 10-yard line, so it's 1st and goal from the 10. Now they line up in a split backfield. It's Haupt and Silo back in the split. They went out of the heavy backfield. Now they got down to the 10, so they're going to keep that split backfield now. Look how tight they've lined up.
Look at that.
It's almost a goal line lineup there for the Warriors. You don't see that very often. And it's going to be Silo and Haupt, and Haupt takes it in. Haupt, a 10-yard touchdown run for the Warriors, and they're on the board, and there's life again on the Warriors sideline.
And I'll tell you what, they were heel to heel in their stance, and it was just off.
The Red Tornadoes need to adjust to that, though. They may not have seen that play before, but you've got to get everybody up to the line of scrimmage. That's a simple, absolute overload and pound the ball at you play.
Well, it's probably their inside the red zone play. They have a great offensive line. They can block anybody, and of course they bring everybody toe to toe.
Smith in to attempt the extra point for the Warriors, and the snap goes over the holder's head. Smith is going to pick it up and get pounded by the Red Tornadoes. It's finally recovered. Ball will go dead, but the ball went right over the holder's head. The holder, I think, was 28 down there. I'm pretty sure that was Russell. He had no chance.
I think there's a
penalty on the play now. There's a flag down at the 3 or 4 yard line. We'll see. They're bringing it back, so maybe they're going to kick it again. I'm not sure who it's against. We're talking to Moreau's down there. It's going to go against the Red Tornadoes, so they're going to get another shot at it. I don't know what the penalty was. I didn't see anything happening, but it was over on the far side.
It had to be offsides Tornadoes, I would assume.
So they're going to try this again. Russell's not in the huddle, but if I were him, I would have went in the huddle and told that center, don't get me killed. Again. So Russell's the holder, and Smith will try this one more time. And this time the center snap is okay. And Smith puts it up, and it is good. So it's 21-7. Red Tornadoes at the 11:02 mark of the second quarter, and the Montoursville Warriors desperately needed that score.
Yes, they did. That was a shot in the arm that they truly needed. It shows them that they can run at least off tackle, and that's where all of their plays had gone, both right and left, off tackle, going powerhouse. Something that we run against everybody else, and now we've seen it in the other direction.
Yep, they went into that 3-back backfield, and that's where the success has come. Now, of course, the touchdown run, the 10-yard run, came off one of the oddest formations where they just lined everybody toe-to-toe, almost like a goal line formation at the 10, and Haupt was able to take it in. So a big momentum builder for the Warriors here, as they were in danger of being blown out of this football game early. Smith will tee it up. Smith does the kickoff duties also for the Warriors. He's averaged about 60 yards a kick also.
Pulowski, Stewart, and DeMarco deep for the Tornadoes. Pulowski in the center.
Now this is one of those things where you have like a kind of a fire drill here, as they're all standing in a row there, and I want to see if they actually line up or what they're doing. He has his hand up, signaling that he's ready to kick from that formation, but now they break, and they'll go into a traditional lineup. You had to wonder what they were, even the Red Tornadoes were wondering what they were going to do there. But he lets it rip, and it's a nice kick all the way down to the 10-yard line where Pulowski's coming upfield. And Pulowski will be brought down in there.
Like number 29.
I think it's 29 if I'm not mistaken down there.
Insignia.
Frank Insignia on the stop. So it's 1st and 10 Red Tornadoes in the worst field position of the evening for the Red Tornadoes as they are out at the 27-yard line. DeMarco in the lineup for the Red Tornadoes. They'll come out in a one-back offense with Demetrius in the back, but it's going to be Pulowski, and Pulowski, they're trying to kick Pulowski out, and Pulowski's going to make it up to the 30-yard line.
Missed one block that time for Pulowski to get through. Pickup of about 2 yards, ball squarely on the 30-yard line for the Tornadoes.
32 Hop really was the guy in the stop there for the Warriors. So we'll bring up, we'll call it 2nd and 7 here, about a 3-yard gain out to the 30-yard line. And the Red Tornadoes will come out in a shotgun formation now with Demetrius standing next to him. We have a trips right formation, no one out to the left of the formation at the moment. And we look downfield, and there's Moroz, and Moroz catches the ball, and Moroz will pick up the first down.
They have such a tough time, and they're double covering Moroz with number 20, Sillo, and also number 38, Smith, over on the right-hand side. And he still catches the ball, makes the turn, and picks up the first down, an extra 3 yards after the catch.
Yep, he made it up almost to the 42-yard line where it's 1st and 10, so a nice catch and run by Moroz. Yep. And now Morgan will bring the play into the Red Tornado huddle. As you can see the clock ticking there at 10:13. This time a handoff to Demetrius. They hit him in the backfield, and he's still going, and Demetrius up over the 45 out to the 46-yard line. I thought he was going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage at first.
Yeah, he was hit at the line of scrimmage and breaks off to the right side. Sillo, number 20, not only plays a great offense, but he's playing a great defense here for the Warriors. He makes the stop on Julius Demetrius.
5-yard gain, though, by Demetrius on that first down play, so it's 2nd and 5. And Demetrius having a very big game for himself tonight offensively.
Yes, he is.
Now we'll go back to an I formation. We'll put Goins in front of Demetrius. And we're going to have a penalty flag, and I'm not sure who this is against. It may be against the Warriors as they were jumping, but I can't tell. A lot of movement going here, and it's going to be against the Red Tornadoes. A motion penalty against the Red Tornadoes will make it 2nd and 10 now once they mark the penalty off.
Again, that time we had split. It looked like Pulowski and Morgan to the left side here, and we had two covered, one tight, but the other coverage was very close to the line of defense off the hash mark there, and we were coming out to this side, and I'll tell you what, it was going to go for a run.
All right, again the I formation. Warriors running. And Wasilewski is
dropped the ball,
buried.
but I think we got it.
Casio buried Wasilewski. The ball hit the ground. It goes to the Red Tornadoes, and it's back at the 35-yard line, but that's as good a hit as you're going to see from the big guy there.
And
Tony Casio, 6'5", 290.
There was a miscue there someplace. I don't know where it was in the
nobody
tornado
hit him.
line. Nobody hit him, and because that was a quick pass to the outside. That was coming over here to Morgan on the flat. And now it's only, for Marcus Wasilewski, that's only a 3-step back and turn and throw the ball.
Yeah, he was just untouched. That's not what you want. So now it's 3rd down and about 17 for the Red Tornadoes back at their own 35 out of the shotgun. This time, plenty of time. It looks like we have a screen play, but it's going nowhere as the Warriors are all over the screen play. The guy that made the initial hit down there again is Casio, and the Red Tornadoes will have the first punt of the evening tonight as the Warriors now with new life on defense.
Yes. Defense and offense, moving the ball a little bit here. And you see what a score does to a team. Certainly has picked them up on the defensive side. The rushing by their defensive line has gotten much stronger for them.
Wasilewski into punt for the Red Tornadoes. He averages about 29 yards of punt. No, not the best punting game for the Red Tornadoes, but This time he hits the ground and it takes a Mount Carmel bounce, and it will go dead at the Warrior 34-yard line where it's 1st and 10 Warriors. So a nice punt by Wasilewski.
Well, we'll see if Coach Brennan on the defensive side. I think Coach Babinski takes care of the defense. If we made some type of adjustment, we'll see if Montoursville this time in this series comes out in that full house backfield where they had some success in running the ball.
Now they're going to go back to a split backfield now. This is where they opened the game up at, with a split backfield, as Singer goes under center. And Singer hands it off to the up guy, and that's Hop. And Hop takes it up over the 40-yard line. A nice run by Hop. He's going to be stopped. I don't know. Stopped under
like
by Demko.
Yeah, Trevor Demko
on the stop. So a good gain. That's 6 yards on that play. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 4.
That was just a straight dive play that time. Sort of misdirection play by the other halfback going to the right.
All right, same formation now for the Warriors. And this time it's going to go to Sillo, and Sillo's going to be stopped by McCullum right at the line of scrimmage. McCullum nailed him at the line of scrimmage and dropped him. No gain on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd down now. And
about 3 maybe.
It's a long 3.
Yeah, long 3. McCullum, great lateral movement that time. Came right up into the hole that was created by the offensive line and makes the hit on the line of scrimmage.
Again, same exact formation. Nothing fancy here from the Warriors. That's not what they do. Singer goes under center. Long count. And Singer hands it to the up back, and it's going to be Sillo, and Sillo picks up the 1st down and then some as he crosses midfield into Red Tornado territory. Goins will bring him down with Savitsky, but it's going to be at the Red Tornado 48-yard line, 1st and 10 Warriors, and they have truly found their rhythm on offense.
They've done something a little bit different in their blocking scheme, or the Tornadoes have changed their defense a little bit because they are now putting some holes in there and picking up 5 yards a clip on every carry.
This time it's going to go to Sillo once again. The ball hit the ground, I believe. I believe it bounced on the ground. The Warriors will recover it, but it was on the ground for a second right at the line of scrimmage. They're going to unpile the whole pile there, but I think the Warriors still have it.
They do.
And it is. It's picked up actually by the quarterback. Actually, Singer recovered the fumble, so it'll be 2nd down and 10.
And again, you're right, Warren, nothing fancy. They got a split backfield, and they're just running off tackle right, off tackle left, and that's it. You know, you stop us.
All right. Again, the exact same formation. I don't want to bore you here, but we're not doing anything different here. This time it's going to be Sillo behind Hop. And Sillo picks up big yardage once again. He'll pick up 6 yards on the play. It's going to bring 3rd down and 4. Getting off the bottom of the pile, Trevor Demko. Getting up off that bottom of the pile for the Red Tornadoes again with help from McCullum.
The big key here is that the left side of the offensive line for the Warriors are moving downfield. They're about 3-4 yards downfield in their blocking scheme. They're helping out, taking on the linebackers, which they did not do in the first quarter. 4 minutes and 50 seconds left in the first half.
It's 3rd down and 5, and now we put a man in motion for the first time this evening, and we head in that direction. It's Sillo trying to find it, and Sillo's free. Sillo's free, and Sillo's down in the Red Tornado backfield. He'll score! Touchdown! Montoursville, and they're back in this game with a vengeance. It's 21-13 with the extra point to come. The Red Tornadoes need to adjust right now.
Yeah,
something has gone wrong on that defense that they're able to get past them.
They've changed something from the first quarter to the second quarter.
Here you see it coming right at you.
Whatever it is.
Look at the hole he had. Untouched. He went untouched through the hole and found his way into the secondary. And they're on the board again. All right, Smith, 38, out of the Russell hold. This time it was down perfectly, and Smith puts it up, and it is good. It's 21-14 here in the second quarter, and this is a football game, folks. The Red Tornadoes got to get themselves back on track offensively and defensively. There's a flag on the last play, a flag on the extra point play. Now, the Warriors have left already, And we're waiting to see what they're going to call there. And that
Motion.
goes against the Warriors, so they're going to have to come back and do it again. They're already in their kickoff huddle, but they're going to have to come back down and redo this. I want to take a moment here to thank, again, as always, our friends at Boyer's Food Market for the hot wings tonight. A nice choice on a cold night. And, of course, Joe Gush and his family and the staff at Vine Street for their hoagies tonight. So we have a big array of food here in the press box tonight for the big game. And a thanks again to Boyers and to Vine Street. All right, Smith is going to try it again just from further back. And this time, I don't know if he got it or not. He did. He just got it in. That one just got inside the bar there. And it's still 21-14, as I said earlier. All right, the Red Tornadoes will get lined up to receive the kick. It's been an interesting game all the first quarter, all Mount Carmel, the second quarter, all Montoursville.
Well, everything that everybody expected. You know, there was no talk about a blowout all week long here. They knew these two teams, powerhouse in both their divisions, coming in from the Heartland Conference. Although, you know, again, like you said, one in the running aspect, one multitasking here, both passing and running. But, you know, everybody surely thought this is going to be a very, very close game at hand.
All right, Smith tees it up. It's interesting enough, he raises his hand while he's still in the huddle. You notice that? You don't see that very often. But then when he looks downfield and the referee signals that he's ready, they break the huddle and go into a traditional kickoff routine there. He's a sidewinder. This time he's going to dribble it down. It's going to hit Pulowski around the 9-yard line. Pulowski comes up. He has a seam. Pulowski in a nice return as he's down along the Red Tornado sideline. And he'll finally be drug out of bounds by Christini.
Well, dropped the ball, but he recovers right on the sideline. Number 31, of course, like Warren said, number one makes the stop on Pulowski, but also knocks the ball out of his hand.
So 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes at the Red Tornado 37-yard line. There you see the replay, and you can see when he gets over to the sideline there, and it's actually number 11. I'm sorry, it was 11, Kepner, that actually made the play. All right, Wasilewski back to pass. Plenty of time. He's got Moroz wide open over the middle. Moroz is in Warrior territory. Moroz down at the Warrior 20, 10, makes the cut down to the 8-yard line. 1st and goal, Red Tornadoes, just like that. Kaup and Sillo on the stop.
Kovaleski clears the zone out, but as he's clearing out the zone, he's wide open going through. It kept Moroz coming across the center in a crossing pattern, double covered this time. Take a look right at your screen. Wasilewski lays it right out there, but here's where Moroz's key is. He turns on the afterburners and picks up big ground here for the Tornadoes.
There you see him. So there it is. The ball, they'll place it down at the 9. So it's 1st and goal from the 9 for the Red Tornadoes. They're going to come out in an I formation with DeMarco actually in the fullback spot, and it's DeMarco. And DeMarco is stood up around the line of scrimmage by Shaheen. We're going to give him a yard on the play down to the 8. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 8.
That time we had a misdirection play. We had Demetrius being the tailback, breaking to the right, of course, hoping to draw a linebacker out of position and trying to sneak DeMarco up off tackle.
Menepace, the big tight end, goes into that lineup now as DeMarco comes out. Also Moroz out of the lineup here. Hiroman, the only guy split in the formation now. He's to the short side of the field. We run away from him as Pulowski tries to pick up some yardage, and he does, down to the 2-yard line.
Crushing.
It'll be, let's see, about the 3. It's going to be 3rd down and goal from the 3.
Crushing block that time on the defensive end by Julius Demetrius, number 28. The lead block right here. Look at this. Right down on his back, and that springs Pulowski and gives him some enough room to break up down at the 3-yard line.
Christini saved the touchdown, and we have
officials timeout.
On the field. I'm not sure. Oh, there's a guy. Okay.
Yep.
53 got shaken up down there. Shaheen. He was had trouble getting up, and he's hurt his leg, so he's gonna go off on his own power, but they called time until he can get off the field, and he now has made it to the sideline. He looks like he's gonna be okay, but he caught a helmet or something there as he went down. So 2:53 and counting here as the clock winds back in here for the Red Tornadoes. It is 3rd down and goal, and they are at the Warrior 3-yard line, and they come out with Pulowski in back of Demetrius.
Wide side of the field to the right.
And we hand it off, and this time it's going to take Pulowski to get around, and he's not going to do it as the Warriors played it very well defensively. And getting off the bottom of the pile down there, I believe, is number 38. He is the guy that made the stop, Smith.
Loss actually of about a half a yard to a yard that time. Ball's back between the 3 and 4 yard line.
All right, it's 4th down and goal just outside the 3-yard line now for the Red Tornadoes as they look in to the sideline. And the Red Tornadoes are going to call timeout.
Yeah, 2 minutes and 5 seconds left. Actually at 1:57 now. Coach is letting it run, and he will call timeout.
And he does. We get the timeout at the 1:53 mark for the Red Tornadoes. That is their first timeout of the half. They have 2. The Warriors have 3 remaining. They used none of theirs. So Coach Brennan goes in. He brings Kovalevsky into the lineup with him as Alvomar will come out. And we'll see what the Red Tornadoes can do here. They dearly love to get into the end zone here and take some momentum into the half as the Warriors have stormed back into this football game here tonight.
Yes, on the last 2 series of play, some big yardage picked up there by Halp and Sillo, taking the ball all the way down on a 60-yard run down to the 10-yard line in the first series, and then taking it over on the very next play from the 10-yard line. So that they're able to move the ball. They found a kink somewhere here. And they are certainly taking advantage of that.
All right, you can hear a pin drop in the stadium this minute here. It was pretty raucous there for a while, but as the game tightened up at 21-14 now, a lot of people sitting more on the edge of this bench. And again, the Red Tornadoes on a crucial 4th down and goal from just outside the 3-yard line. Coach Brennan comes out of the huddle. They now come out into a 1-back offense. He has 2 guys wide right, 1 guy to the short side. That's Moroz over there on the left, or on the right. I'm sorry, 2 guys wide left, 1 right. Demetrius goes in motion. It's a quick look by Wasilewski, and he throws it into the end zone and over the head. He was being pressured down there by Josh Albert, and the Warriors have turned the Red Tornadoes away at the 3-yard line. It's 1st and 10, Warriors. Not sure what that play was supposed to be, to tell you the truth.
I think that play was supposed to clear the zone out, and I think Wasilewski was going to try to run it in from his going to the right, of course. But Moroz was standing open in the back, but even at that point in time, Wasilewski was being tackled when he threw the ball.
All right, 1st and 10 Warriors as they've turned the Red Tornadoes back. They go back into that heavy backfield now with Sillo in the tailback spot of it. And they go to Sillo as he follows the 2 big guys, and Sillo on his feet, and he'll take it out to the 10-yard line. A 7-yard gain by the Warriors, and they continue to churn yardage on the offense.
Yeah, this time, in this second quarter, whatever they have changed, they've done a good job of it. They've seen something, and they're moving the ball. And if you look back on these, this is the 3rd series now. They're running exclusively to the left side.
Yep. All right, 2nd down. Actually, it's 2nd down and 5. He didn't get as far as I thought. So 2nd down and 5, and again, it's Sillo. And this time they pile Sillo up back around the line of scrimmage. I don't think he picked up much on the play. It'll bring 3rd down and 5. Let's call it 3rd down and 3.
And 3. He picked up about 1.5 yards to 2 yards that time.
The clock continues to tick under a minute now. We're counting down at 56 and counting here. The Warriors pretty content right now just to try to hold on to the ball here and go into a halftime with a 7-point deficit as they've played very well here in the second quarter. The Red Tornadoes are going to need to adjust to this running game as they come out for the 3rd quarter.
Full house backfield again for the Warriors.
This time it's a short opener to the big guy, and that's McNamara. And McNamara dropped the ball, and Kovalevsky scored. They took it out of his hand, and he dropped the ball's in the end zone. Kovaleski on the score. Now, I'm not sure if he dropped it or they took it out of his hand.
They ran to the left again, away from us. We
Oh,
did
my
not
goodness.
see what happened, but Kovaleski scores a touchdown for the Tornadoes with 25 seconds left on the clock.
They stood him up at the line of scrimmage. He turned his back to us, and the next thing I know, Kovaleski went into the end zone. Here you see it. Now we're going to try and see what happened here.
Looks like he dropped the ball.
The ball came out right in front of him and hit right into Kovaleski's hands. So Kovaleski scores the defensive touchdown, and Menepes puts it up, and it is good. So it is now 28-14, and the Warriors were stunned here. With 25 seconds remaining in the half. They give up a defensive touchdown on a fumble to Kovaleski, and just like that, the game can turn.
So quickly. I'll tell you what, I think the coach for the Warriors was looking to pick up the first down and hopefully kill the clock.
Just kill the clock. I said
kill
he was
the clock for halftime.
Trying to get into the locker room.
From smaller than an atom to about the size of an orange.
I almost felt like I had to pick up my feet to keep them from dragging on the top of those mountaintops. I mean, we really came in low and fast.
Okay, so welcome everybody to the Planetarium at the Mount Carmel High School on 5th Street. Planetarium was installed when the school was built in 1977. At some point, I believe during the 90s, it became unusable, and over the years, starting with Mrs. Latour and now Mr. Steller and the Mount Carmel Education Foundation, we have tried to restore the planetarium and get it going. And we did a lot of work in here. Mr. Wagner, science teacher. We got a great young science teacher who teaches Earth and space. We got Mr. Tresker, myself. If you remember Bill Brokenshire, he's a classmate of mine, class of 76, Professor Dobson. Everybody put some time in here, and we've actually got the planetarium mostly working. In addition to that, what we did was we installed, or we'd like to install, a new projector and computer system so that we can actually access a lot of content that's on the internet, including some pre-made curriculums that are very cost efficient, and we can bring kids back in here and get them re-engaged in the science that's available here in the planetarium. But we really need your help. Right now we need $5,000 to complete the project. $5,000 will address what is not working. It will buy the computer and the projector, and it will bring in the manufacturer, which is Spitz out of Philadelphia, still in business, even from back in the old days, to redo the planetarium, calibrate it so it's technically correct as far as locations and planets and stars and systems, and when Mr. Wagner can do a lot of teaching and be sure that he's teaching, everything was going to come out just right. And really, we need your help. Times of tough budgets here at Mount Carmel and everywhere else. There are only 7 planetariums like this existing in the state of Pennsylvania, so we would like to restore ours and have something special for the kids, because as you know, today we have to engage kids, and this is a perfect place. Not only for Earth and space, we can do all kinds of science in here. We can do biology, we can do chemistry, anything that has to do where we can bring them in and engage them in a scientific media presentation. So if we can get everyone to give $25 or even more, we can get maybe 200 people to donate to us, class from been an alumni of Mount Carmel, and you're willing to give us a hand and put this planetarium back in operation, we really appreciate it. So thank you for listening, and if you'd like to make a donation, just go to the web page for the Mount Carmel Area Education Foundation. It's under contribution on the top menu of the Mount Carmel Area High School. You can go in there and specify that you'd like the contribution to go to the planetarium. And thank you very much. You come see me in the summertime and I'll give you a tour. Bye.
Without doubt, as the hydrogen compacts, the atoms of gas start bouncing off each other into the vast universe. A product of the laws of nature and the raw materials left over from the Big Bang. It was almost 1,000 times bigger than our own sun.
Okay, gang, we're back here at halftime. We have Jose down on the field with the first half stats. Jose, a pretty exciting first half.
Oh, awesome. It started out like it was going to be a blowout, and obviously it's a football game with two teams that deserve to be in the playoffs, and that's the way it works. For Montoursville, 22 rushes for 175, 0 of 1 passing, 3 first downs. For Mount Carmel, 17 rushes for 126 yards, 7 of 9 passing for 102, total offense 228 and 8 first downs. Individually, Justin Pulowski 5 for 42, Julius Demetrius 8 for 78, Dave DeMarco 1 for 1, and Marcus Washaleski 3 for -5. Receiving, Morose 3 for 73, Julius Demetrius 2 for 9, Colin Menepace 1 for 19, and Justin Pulowski 1 for 1. Things of note in the first half, Marcus Washaleski, touchdown pass number 26, leaves him 1 away from Joe Baczynski, 1965, 27 passes. We did go over 100 yards passing and rushing for the 13th consecutive game this year. Colin Menepace with the extra point, the first extra point, gave him 26 consecutive, breaking the record held previously by Matt Kufta. And I have to apologize to Matt. Last week when we talked about it, I messed it up. But it was Matt Kufta's record of 25. Colin now working on 29.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jose, we had a tale of 2 quarters here. Of course, the first quarter all red, the second quarter all blue and gold. Couple of questions we have. One, we looked as hard as we could on the replay and couldn't see what happened on the fumble down there that Kovaleski recovered into the into the end zone.
They're saying somebody stripped it on the tackle.
Trevor Demko stripped that ball that time.
And it got picked up by Matt, and he ran it in 11 yards, touchdown. That's our 3rd fumble return for a touchdown this year. And it couldn't have come at a better time.
How about Colin? What happened to Colin? He's not kicking off now. We see his leg wrapped.
He might have strained a hammy, I think, but we're not sure. Hopefully he'll be okay, and we won't need the extra points to continue, hopefully.
All right, well, it's been a great first half, Jose. How you holding up in the weather down there?
Oh, it's really not bad. It's an exciting game, and it's really not bad. The wind isn't blowing. If it were blowing, I think it would be a lot worse. But it's really not bad, and we have to give credit to all those volunteers, Warren. I hope you guys talked about it.
We did, yep.
Who cleared this field, and Landscape Services, who brought in their equipment and donated it for free. And it's just an awesome community effort to make this game practical for us and give us an edge that we had with the clear field rather than it being in the mud and in the snow.
All right, Jose, we're going to see you after this football game is over.
Okay.
And we'll talk to you then.
All right, thanks, boys.
All right, take care, Jose. All right, again, as Jose alluded to, we want to thank all the people who were here and helped shovel this field off on their own, just volunteered to come on down and help the field out. Landscape Service, of course, bringing their equipment down. We made it much easier. And again, that's what Red Tornado football, and that's what this community is about, people pitching in and helping out.
Okay. Now you take a look here at the half starting up again. Now one key thing here, Warren, is that the Tornadoes are going to receive the ball in the second half. So we get to kick it in gear immediately, and hopefully we can. It seems like the offense has taken off in the second quarter here, and especially in the passing department. It does not seem like the Warriors could defend against any of the receivers on the Tornado side.
Yeah, I think you're going to see the Red Tornadoes try to throw the ball. You're right, in the second half. That seems to be where the advantage now has come for the Red Tornadoes. And again, they're going to have to give him a little better protection because he got crushed on one play particularly. And then down by the goal line, they ran on him very quickly too. But with a little bit of time, obviously he looks like he's throwing the ball very well again tonight. And I think that's where the advantage to the Red Tornadoes will come. And of course, they have got to find a way to stop that running game, which came alive in the second quarter, and they run almost explicitly to the one side. They don't move anywhere else but one side. So you've got to find a way, to beat that run a little bit and tighten the game up.
Yeah, the defense, and again, as I alluded to, I don't know if the Tornadoes switched their defense around a little bit, or did the Warriors finally figure out and get into some type of a rhythm, which I assume that's what has happened. You don't running the ball for 2,500 yards or 2,600 yards in a season.
2,800 yards,
and, yeah, 2,800 yards, and not move the ball down the field. So I think they just came in, and I think in the second quarter they sort of got their rhythm, and they started opening holes, some good blocks, good pulls by the guards, and their ball carrier helped, and Silo started moving the ball and carrying it downfield. So, I cannot believe that the Tornadoes had to adjust anything because they were playing so well in the first quarter.
Yeah. Well, okay, the Red Tornadoes are in their huddle. The Montoursville Warriors are in theirs. They're getting ready to start this second half of play here at the Silver Bowl. The score, of course, the Red Tornadoes out 28-14 over the Montoursville Warriors. That last touchdown, of course, that fumble recovery coming from Kovalevsky from 11 yards out and taking it right at the end of the half there. So it looks like it's shaping up to be a fantastic second half.
Yes, Wayne. It is. It's just amazing a turnabout and how this game has swung from the first quarter from the Tornado side right over to the Warriors side right at the beginning of the second quarter, and that's what these games are all about, especially now. I don't think you're going to see any blowouts from here on out because of the quality of these teams that are coming into play.
Underway here, Pulowski at the 12-yard line on the kick from Smith. Pulowski finding his way out up over the 25 to the 27-yard line.
Number
He's
50.
brought down in there by 53, I believe
Shaheen.
it was. Shaheen again, and Shaheen was the guy that was shaken up near the end of that half, but looks like he's back with a vengeance. So the Red Tornadoes will go on offense, 1st and 10 from their own 27.
27-yard line. Now is where you see you got to get those kinks out from sitting in at halftime, in on the benches, in the warm. You're back out here in 23-degree weather.
Come out in a one-back offense. It'll be Demetrius, the lone back, and it's Pulowski in motion, but a penalty flag goes down very quickly. It'll go against the Red Tornadoes, I'm sure. So not the way to start the first half, as we have a motion penalty to start the first play of the second half. And it'll be a 5-yard penalty, 1st and 15 for the Red Tornadoes. Now the ball back at the Red Tornado 22-yard line.
Kovalevsky goes in. And so does Morgan, number 2. Colin Menepace comes out. It's going to be spread offense for the Tornadoes with the 2 speedsters in.
Right now we'll come out in a shotgun formation. Pulowski and Demetrius standing next to him. Wasilewski has time. He finds Kovalevsky. Kovalevsky makes the catch, but he's brought down very quickly down there in a nice tackle by Russell. So brought it back out to about the 26-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 11.
Again, not very close coverage on the slot man on that play. Tornadoes again using the slot man as a blocker especially when Kovaleski catches the ball, hoping to take the corner man on.
The Red Tornadoes now come out in an I formation. One guy wide to the right, one guy to the short side. Now the short side guy in motion. Pulowski is the tailback. It's a fake to Pulowski. Wasilewski looking downfield trying to find somebody open, and it's going to be Moroz on a comeback.
Great
Moroz still
pass.
on his feet down along the sideline. He finally steps out of bounds with the ball up to the Red Tornado 39-yard line. It's 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes.
Moroz, 21 yards off the line of scrimmage. He goes all the way down to the 50-yard line, and you could see the tight coverage. They're double covering Moroz, and you could see Wasilewski rolling out of the pocket, and he's calling Moroz back. Moroz hooks back up, comes in about 7 yards, and a great reception by Moroz.
All right, 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes, one back offense with Demetrius standing in back. Two guys split out to the right. We go to Morgan. Morgan picks a quick pass to the right. Morgan's on the horse, and he's going downfield, and he's in
Great.
Warrior territory at the Warrior 45-yard line. 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes.
Pulowski making a great block that time for Morgan. Morgan, a nice catch, takes it right in, especially on a cold night like this. Brings it right into his stomach and then cuts back across the grain, picks up 12 yards on that carry. Ball squarely on the 45-yard line of the Warriors. 10 minutes and 37 seconds left in this quarter.
One back offense, two guys out to the right side of the formation, but we're going to hand it to Pulowski in a comeback. And Pulowski, they needed to get the block,
Yep.
and they couldn't. That was a great play by the Warriors
Now,
to stop that play where they did.
Smith is playing a great corner for them. He stayed home that time. He didn't take the fake where they were running to the right side of the field and towards their bench, and the pitch back coming back to Moroz.
So it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 14 now with the 4-yard loss on that play as Morgan brings the play in, and Moroz will step back onto the Red Tornadoes sideline. Coach Brennan trying to get everybody in the right spot.
Yep.
And it's going to be Morgan now going in the opposite direction as he wants to line up wide right here. And the Red Tornadoes need to call a timeout because they could not get the formation right. So a timeout on the field, the first of the second half for the Red Tornadoes. They have 2 remaining, and Moroz trots back in to the lineup here now as they could not get the play off.
I'll tell you
Coach
what,
Brennan
hands up.
he was frantically
Yes.
trying to wave the right guy in the right spot, but he couldn't do it.
Great play by Wasilewski because he saw the hand go up by the referee, the back judge. That gave him 5 seconds to call the play, and of course, right before he calls a timeout.
Albemarle trots into the Red Tornado lineup here. He'll line up in a guard position for the Red Tornadoes. And they come back to the line of scrimmage here on 2nd down. The ball in Warrior territory now at the Warrior 49-yard line for the Red Tornadoes as Coach Brennan leaves the huddle, and he's, let's say the least, a little ticked on that play as he was not happy that they couldn't line up. And when you're in the 13th game, you got to pretty much know where you're lining up is what his idea is. So we're in an I formation. We fake it to the tailback, Pulowski. Look downfield to Moroz, and Moroz makes a nice catch, and he'll take it back to the line of scrimmage.
I'll tell you what, the defender was on his back the whole time, the whole route that time, although Moroz does make the catch. Pickup of maybe about 4 yards that time. 3rd and 10, but now they're starting to cover Moroz a little bit closer, a little bit tighter, and they're double teaming him.
Kovaleski in the lineup now for the Red Tornadoes with the play. 9 minutes and 11 seconds and counting here in the 3rd quarter of play as Albemarle now comes out of the ball game for the Red Tornadoes. They go into a shotgun formation on this 3rd and 10 from the Warrior 45. Wasilewski plenty of time. He looks downfield. He's Kovaleski streaking downfield, and Kovaleski couldn't catch up with it. He was double covered down there by number 31. Actually, it was the deep guy, Christini. Yep. And I'm going to see the guy that turns around, or I believe it's 32, and it is, and that was Haupt on the play. So he was double covered and well covered actually by the Warriors. So it's 4th down, and now the Red Tornadoes will kick here from their from the Warrior 45-yard line as Wasilewski goes in punt formation. Christini, the lone back for the Warriors. Washaleski gets a nice kick. He kicks towards the sideline and bounces back in. They have to let it roll, and it's going to roll all the way down to the 10-yard line. So a nice kick by Washaleski. It's 1st and 10 from the 10 for the Warriors.
That time, and just a little pooch kick. All he had to do is get it up in the air, get it high enough that he had good coverage, and did exactly. The ball hits on about the 20 and rolls for 10 yards.
Hit the ground, and I think Christini thought it was going to roll out of bounds, and it bounced the other way, stayed in bounds, and rolled to the 10. Now the Red Tornadoes need to have figured out this running offense here as they come out in that split backfield. And this time, it's right up the middle with Haupt, and it goes nowhere this time.
Savitsky makes a great play from the nose guard position.
I give him a yard on the play out to the 11 or so, but it's going to bring 2nd down and 9. Give him 2 yards, 2nd down and 8.
He looked right into the hole there and makes the tackle. Again, nothing split backfield, and it just went off tackle this time, going to the right.
Okay, again, you got Haupt and Sillo in the backfield in a split formation. Now have a guy take a step off the line and go in motion. Second time we've seen a motion, they move to the motion. It's Sillo trying to pick his way through, and Sillo fights his way down to about the 19-yard line. He's going to come up 2 yards short. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
Steck grabbing him on about the line of scrimmage to slow him up enough, or I'll tell you what, Sillo made some big yardage that time. Held on to his jersey until he was tackled. Still picks up about 5 yards on the play.
Well, that time they put the tight end Schmack in motion. We haven't seen much of that in the game. But now they're in the heavy backfield now on a 3rd down and 2. And the Red Tornadoes
Ball's on the ground.
Ball's on the ground. Red Tornadoes have recovered the fumble. A blitz by the Red Tornadoes. McCullum was in the backfield before the handoff.
Looked like Trevor Demko, number 65, picks the ball up or recovers the fumble.
Another big play, but the whole play pivoted on the blitz of the Red Tornadoes. They saw the shift. They knew where the ball was going this time. They flooded that zone, and McCullum hit the quarterback before the ball got handed off. So 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes from the Warrior 18-yard line.
Big opportunity for the Tornadoes here to really put this game out of range.
I formation. Now the big tight end goes in motion. He comes to the other side. And we're going to go with Pulowski on a handoff. And Pulowski looking for some room around the end. Pulowski makes a nice move around the 10, and he takes it inside to the 7-yard line.
Pulowski, that time, at least 3 times, made a shoulder dip to the inside. He was going to cut. It froze some of the defenders in their position, and he makes it to the outside all the way down to about the 6 or 7-yard line.
1st down and goal for the Red Tornadoes now. They put the ball just inside the 8-yard line of the Warriors. As Washaleski is peeking over at the sideline waiting for the play. Now he's going to have to run over, and now they're going to have to hurry up.
Well, they just set the ball in.
Now they just set the ball.
Yep,
I know
they
what they
just
took.
Set the ball.
He was smart that way. I didn't realize it took so long to get themselves set there. That's an extra 5 seconds or so for the Red Tornadoes to get in that huddle and get the play called as they now break the huddle in an I formation. Pulowski in back of Demetrius. 2 guys wide right, nobody to the left of the formation. And now the tight end goes to the right of the formation and sets himself. But we go the other way, and it's Demetrius. And Demetrius inside the 5-yard line to the 4-yard line.
Great play. We flood the right side. We have wide slot to the right. We also move Menapace from the left side over to the right, and it did shift everybody over. Pulowski goes in motion to the right, and of course we come back to the left side off tackle, trying to get Demetrius a breakthrough onto the goal line. Pick up of maybe about 2 yards that time.
All right, 2nd down and about 5. We'll say right around the 5-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 5 as Washaleski falls, trips, gets back up, throws it in the end zone, and it's a touchdown. Morgan, what a play by Washaleski. What a play by the quarterback as he tripped, and he almost went down on a knee, stood back up, backpedaled all the way back to the 20-yard line, and then he threw a touchdown pass, and then 5 yards in the books, but it was about 25 yards when he threw it, and he finds Morgan in the end zone, and it's a touchdown for the Red Tornadoes. It's 34-14 now at the 5:51 mark. There you see the replay.
Morgan's
wide open. I'm not
open.
not sure how they left him standing there wide open, but it cost them.
Unless they thought he was trying to run the ball around the right side and he sort of released on the receivers.
Well, for a while he disappeared to the backs, to the defensive backs.
Yep.
He was falling down, and I thought he was going to go down, to tell you the truth. Menapace in to attempt the extra point. It is up, and it is good. It's 35-14 Red Tornadoes here with 5:51 in the third quarter. And again, a big defensive play causes the touchdown for the Red Tornadoes, and the Warriors have been stung twice now by defensive play.
By turnovers, and the Tornadoes have capitalized on those turnovers. One by Kovaleski on the fumble, picking it up that was caused by Demko, and carrying the ball in, and now this second touchdown. So, but those are the things you need to do in a playoff game.
Oh, yeah.
You need to capitalize on what another team is giving you.
Now, Menapace, the normal kickoff guy, is not going to come in again. We had seen him out for the last kickoff. Again, we understand he may have a strain in one leg, but he is kicking the extra points. He's just not kicking off.
Right.
So Wasilewski will once again take over the kickoff duties, and he's got to be rusty. How many times has he kicked off really in the season? Not too many. So this is all kind of brand new to him.
It's not easy to do, I'll tell you that right now.
A cold night, and not something you've done for maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 games, and now he's in there kicking off. So my hat off to the quarterback who has to come in and the emergency kicking duties here. He signals that he is ready. It takes the referee.
Yes, they're making sure everybody's
forever to get set here. Now I think they're all pretty much happy that they're set, and they are. All right, and Wasilewski will let it rip, and again right over to the sideline around the 18-yard line, and that is going to be Smith.
DeMarco.
Or Christini, I'm sorry,
Christini. DeMarco making the initial hit. Dietz looks 47, makes the final tackle that time.
So Christini brings the ball up over the 20-yard line, over the 25-yard, out to about the 28. We'll call it 1st and 10. Warriors from their own 28-yard line here. And we'll see as the Red Tornadoes really came alive on defense in that last series, if they continue to do that, as again they rushed the hole knowing where it was coming. Now we're in a split backfield, back to that traditional set that they've run most of the game here tonight. And it's going to go to Haupt, and Haupt is looking his way down there, and he's going to be tackled up over the 30 at the 32-yard line.
Trevor Demko makes the initial hit in the backfield.
And Rose getting off Morgan and McCullum.
Haupt is a strong runner to take a hit like that.
He's the bigger of the two backs, as we said. He's the more of the power guy out of that backfield between him and Sillo. And they both run very well. I mean, everything you've heard about them is true, and then some. You don't get to be run for 2,800, almost 2,900 yards in a season without being very good at it. Singer goes under center now. And again, he goes back to pass. Actually, his best pass, it's only the second pass he's tried to throw. He was trying to hit number 82 down there. And that's Marshalik, the tight end came out of that formation. And he tried to hit him. He was just high. It'll go incomplete. And now it's going to be 3rd down and 6. And again, just not a very fancy passing offense.
No,
there was only 2 guys he had a shot at there.
Well, he was looking at Mashalik. He's 6'4", 270 pounds.
He's a big target, but he managed to throw it over his head too, though. So, all right, now they're going to go into an I formation down here. They bring McNamara back in, and McNamara is in that fullback spot in front of Sillo. And it will be Sillo, and Sillo is not going to pick up the first down.
Looks
in fact, he doesn't get to the 35-yard line even. It's going to be 4th down, Warriors, and they're going to have to punt. And you're right, it is Steck with Clokus getting off the bottom of that pile. But that whole middle of the defense, and the Red Tornadoes have definitely stiffened on defense from the second quarter to the third quarter. 4:33, and counting here as the big guy goes back to punt in punt formation there. And he lets it fly. That's Beresford. Goes to Morose. Morose down around his own 30-yard
Nice.
line. He makes a pretty
Nice.
play. What a block by the Red Tornadoes. He's still on his feet. Morose still on his feet into Warrior territory at the Warrior 32-yard line.
Wow. Morose making a nice run, picking and choosing the lane he wanted to take. But I'll tell you what, there were about 4 crushing blocks down there.
Oh, were there some hits on that
Oh,
on
my
that
goodness.
return?
On the return.
What a cut! McCullum really crushed the guy on the side
Yep.
there as Morose made his cut. So good field position for the Red Tornadoes down at the 33-yard line of the Warriors. It's 1st and 10, and they're in an I formation. DeMarco in the fullback spot, but it goes to Demetrius. And Demetrius will be stopped
Ball's
at the line
on
of
the
scrimmage, and the
ground.
ball hit the ground. And it may be Warrior ball. It
it
is.
is.
The Warriors have recovered the fumble down at the 32-yard line. It's 1st and 10, Warriors. Big number 79, Mike Kane, I believe, came up with the ball. So just like that, the Red Tornadoes turned the ball back over to the Warriors.
And that's hard to believe because Demetrius has double arm covered that ball going through the
Here
line
you
all
see the
year, and he
replay,
did
and
again.
I'm going to see if I can see what happened here. He has the ball. Yeah, he does have the ball fairly cleanly.
Yeah.
I don't know how. And he didn't get hit that hard either. It just popped out. All right, again, the I formation for the Warriors. McNamara in front in that fullback spot. He brings a man in motion towards it. He goes that way. And it's going to be Haupt. And Haupt has a head of steam and
got
hot.
the corner.
Got the corner. He'll be drug out of bounds by Trevor Demko up at the Warrior 44-yard line.
Pickup of 12 yards that time for the Warriors, and it is a 1st down. Ball's going to be squarely on the 50-yard, 45-yard line.
All right,
3 minutes
Singer will
and-
bring him up.
3 minutes and 59 seconds left.
They'll stay in the I formation. They'll keep Beresford in front of Haupt. And again, the same exact play and the same exact hole.
Yep.
And it's going to be, oh, and Haupt goes nowhere this time. Again, it is Demko. And Demko buries him. Wow, it's like Demko saw the same thing we did. That was the exact play.
Yep.
I mean, there was no fooling around there. They bring Cristini in motion back to help block from the short side.
They're giving him a yard and a half gain that time. That's hard to believe when Trevor Demko blew him all the way back to the, about a 2-yard loss. He hit him that hard.
All right, it's going to be 2nd down. We're going to call it a long 8. And they'll come out. Now they go back into that split backfield on the 2nd down play. And Singer keeps it.
Has the ball.
Oh, that was not the play.
I
They read that play all the way. That is.
Was that a keeper going back the opposite direction?
Yes, it was. That was
right.
Demetrius that stood his ground. Singer was going to pivot and turn to the short side of the field, the naked side, as everybody went to one side of it. But Demetrius blew the play up, saw it immediately, and they'd have a loss on the play. And now it's going to be 3rd down and 13 with the ball back at the Warrior 42-yard line.
When you look at that play, you can tell they don't run that play too often because he ran into his halfback.
Yeah, that wasn't a very good play either way for the Warriors. That's not something they do very well. All right, we'll go into an I formation again here now, only this time we're going to put Sillo back there, and it's a pass, and it is blown up by Steck. Steck absolutely buries Singer all the way back at the 30-yard line. They do not pass well. I mean,
No,
I'm
they
going to
don't.
simply say that is not what they do. We said that coming in, that they were not good at passing, and they are not good at passing. All right, it's 4th down now, and it's 4th down at about 23. So Beresford will again come in and punt and a flag down as the Warriors had one guy too many. It'll be illegal participation. And they'll mark off another 5. It'll make it 4th down and 27 yards now for the Warriors.
Once you break the huddle, you better have this right amount of players on the field.
He tried to sneak off there on the short side over there, but he got caught. All right, so Beresford says, now I'm ready. Beresford's got to be one of the biggest punters I've ever seen from the size of him. And it's going to be Morose down along his own 40-yard line. Morose dropped it, and
they have it.
They may have recovered it. The Warriors recovered it. The Warriors have recovered the muff by Morose on the punt. And it's Warrior ball in Red Tornado territory at the Red Tornado 37.
37-yard line.
The Red Tornadoes getting sloppy here now in the 3rd quarter, and it could cost them. They're up 35-14, a minute 49 remaining here in the third quarter, but not what the Red Tornadoes would like to hang their hat on here in the last couple of series. A fumble, and now they fumbled the punt return.
Now you got your defense on again for an extra amount of time, which you don't want to do.
All right, Singer go under center, split backfield. He has Haupt and Sillo back in back of him. And now Haupt goes in motion. We pitch it to Haupt, and it's a penalty flag. It'll be a motion call on the Warriors as they're also beginning to struggle a little bit here on offense.
I think some of that comes from frustration. You know, they're looking at the clock, a minute and 48 seconds left here. They're down 35-14. And, you know, you're trying to get that little edge, that little movement, that little quickness, movement on the ball first.
All right, Singer will bring him out now in that 1st and 15 now. The ball back at the Red Tornado 42-yard line. Again, they're in that split formation. Again, the same play as they fake it to Hop, and it's Sillo, and Sillo is buried at the line of scrimmage. He may have lost a little bit on the play.
Savitsky
and Demko. Demko now has become a wild man on the defensive front for the Red Tornadoes.
And again, he needs to step it up just like he is right now to stop. And they're running in his direction now in the second half. In the first half, they kept on running, or in the second quarter, they kept on running to the left. Now they're exclusively running to the right side.
All right, it's 2nd down and 15 now. Again, we have a split backfield, a little bit off center now in the split as Christini comes in motion and the Warriors call timeout. So a timeout on the field now for the Warriors, their first timeout of the second half. We have a minute 10 remaining here in the third quarter of play. The Red Tornadoes lead 35-14. The Montoursville Warriors in Red Tornado territory, but kind of getting stalled on their own here as they have a 2nd and 15, and now they had to call a timeout as Coach Bergen didn't like what was about to transpire on that play. So he's in the huddle talking to them. The Red Tornadoes, again, kind of a seesaw battle now. Of course, when you're up 35-14, you don't mind a seesaw battle. As long as nobody's going in the end zone, you can end it like this. That's the way they look at it. But Coach Brennan not happy that they've made a couple of crucial mistakes, the fumble and then the fumble on the return. So not what you want to do in game 13 of a series, and not what you want to do in a championship game for District 4. So Coach Bergen having his conversation with his crew, and he looks like he gave him a bit of a tongue lashing, I believe, in the huddle there, which is what happens when coaches do that.
Right, yeah.
And now Singer will come out. We'll stay in that split backfield. It'll be Haupt and Sillo behind him. He has one guy right, one guy left in the formation. Waiting for the referees to set the play. They do set it now, and he goes under center. Christini now in motion across the formation, and it's going to go to Sillo, and Sillo's got himself a hole.
Trevor, no, it was
that's going to be Steck that brings him down at the Red Tornado 34-yard line.
Sillo had some running room, and I'll tell you what, Steck makes a great play from the tackle position, reaching back and grabbing him and making the tackle. Pickup of maybe about 8 yards on him.
I'll tell you what, he had a big hole.
Yes,
Steck made a nice play to bring him down, and that would have been a touchdown. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 8 for the Warriors. This time Russell and Christini go out to the left of the formation. And now Haupt goes in that direction also. And it's going to be a pass play by Singer. And Singer has his man. It's complete. That is Christini down at the
They're calling it a catch.
12-yard line.
Calling it a catch right there on the 12.
So, well, let's see, 13. At the 13-yard line. So it's 1st and 10. Warriors, he did catch it. Actually, he did. That's a nice catch by Christini as he got his hands underneath it, and it never touched the field. It's 1st and 10 Warriors. Christini coming in motion again, and this time it's going to be Haupt. And Haupt pulls his way inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line. That's tough running by Haupt.
That's tough running by Haupt, and I'll tell you what, that's maybe a 10-yard pickup that time. Real close to the first down for the Warriors.
Here's the replay. Watch Haupt running, and he is, look at him. This kid can run. Morose and McCullum finally dragging him down. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that run brought an end to the third quarter of play here at the Silver Bowl with the score. The Red Tornadoes 35, the Warriors 14, and the Warriors knocking on the door. It's 1st and goal from the 3 when the fourth quarter starts. What a game, Wade. I'll tell you what, this is everything you want and then some.
Everything, and I'll tell you what, great strategy on both sides of the field. One trying to readjust, and you could see Coach Babinski in there straightening guys out and putting them in the correct position and everything on defense. And the coach from Montoursville, he continues to run either left or right, mostly to the right in the third quarter. But now that time, it's a straight dive play up the center. So a lot of strategy, especially on offense, trying to set up your next play.
I'll tell you what, that's a heck of an offensive line for the Warriors.
Yes,
too.
it is.
They are doing a fantastic job here tonight. They're opening up some big holes. They really are. They are one tough offensive line. And again, we talked about those two backs gaining, and when this game's over, they're going to have gained over 3,000 yards in the ground for the season. But you don't do that without a very, very good offensive line, and they definitely have one here. All right, both teams back on the field here. We will start the fourth quarter of play, and as I said, we started from the 3-yard line where it's 1st and goal, Warriors. Warriors will come out in their traditional split backfield. You got Haupt and Sillo. Sillo standing almost directly behind Singer. And it's going to go to Sillo. And Sillo is not going to get in. He had a nice push.
Yes, he did.
Goins came around the end and tackled him almost from behind, and McCullum had him in front. He took it down to the 1-yard line where it's 2nd and goal from the 1. And it's very difficult to keep this crew out from the 1-yard line with the physicalness of that offensive line.
Watch how tight the linemen are. They're just heel to heel. Look at the left side here. It's going left.
You can't even breathe inside that line right now. And it's going to be Sillo again, and
he
Sillo goes in. Sillo takes it in from the 1-yard line. The Warriors are on the scoreboard at the 11:21 mark of the fourth quarter. It's 35-20. With the extra point attempt by Smith to come. And there you see it. He had a wide open hole. Kevin Demko had the only shot at him, but couldn't hold on to him from 1 yard. And Sillo goes in. So Smith in the attempt. Smith, a sidewinder kicker compared to our straight-on guy. And a lefty.
Lefty.
You don't see that very often either. Russell, the holder, for him in the formation. Down, and it is good. And he barely gets through it, and now a flag on the play, and they may have roughed the kicker.
And that's what it's going to be. It's going to be roughing the kicker. That will be assessed on the kickoff.
Now let's see. We have a Warrior guy. There's a Warrior down. We have a Warrior down. So they're going to go out and attend to him first. He was down right in the middle of the pile there. But I'm wondering if they want to go for 2.
Oh, you mean decline it?
I don't know. I'm not sure what they want to do here. They're going to have some time to talk about it, obviously. But it looks like no. It looks like it's going to be assessed on the kickoff, I'm guessing. I don't know. Yeah, I guess you don't have a choice there. I guess it's after the play. It's a dead ball foul.
Yes,
so, okay. So it's going to be assessed on the kickoff instead. Okay. I'm all over it now. The Warrior player is still down there. Again, you're watching this on a Wednesday night. Tonight, because of Thanksgiving, tonight, if the Red Tornadoes win this game, will be Supper Club on a Wednesday night, believe it or not. Again, Supper Club now is the real time you're winning at Supper Club because you got to talk to he brings the 4, standouts from the game before the coaching staff. We talk about the upcoming game, and it's just really, the atmosphere cannot be beaten at Supper Club during this run at the championship game. All right, the Warrior player is up, and he's being helped off the field. And so time will come back in, and we'll get ready for the Warriors to kick off to the Red Tornadoes. Again, we want to say hello and thank you to all of our fans out there on the webcast. Again, tell your friends in those far-flung places, just go to the Mount Carmel Area High School homepage, click on high school, click on athletics, click on football, and you will see the link to the webcast, and we are live on the web for all of the Red Tornado football games this year, except the very final game when they won't let us do that one because they're afraid of us.
That's right.
They're afraid of us. All right, the kickoff will come from the 45-yard line. Actually, I thought it would come
Further down.
closer
There.
than that. I really did. I got to brush up on the rules in the off season. I believe I'm maybe even shakier now than I was to begin with. But I thought it's only a 5-yard penalty. I thought it was more than that. Right? I mean,
No, maybe he just
you thought it
brushed
was.
them. I don't know. Heck,
Whatever. All right.
I don't know.
All right. So Smith tees it up. He goes back and they put this. Actually, that's not Smith. The guy that actually teed it up was Andrew Rischel. Now, I don't think Andrew Rischel's actually kicking unless the kicker's the guy that got hurt. Again, they take longer than
Yes.
any crew I have ever seen to set the ball, and it is right. It is Andrew Rischel. You're right. The kicker must have got hurt on the last play. So Rischel lets it go. It's a knuckleball at the 15, and it's Stewart. Stewart has himself a head of steam along the Red Tornado sideline, and Stewart out at the 47-yard line, pushed out of bounds down there by number 40. It looks like it was the tackler, Schmack. Schmack is a great name for football.
Let me tell you what.
You gotta like that name for football. What's your name? Schmack.
If there's a ball that's going to be kicked short, the one I would want carrying it is Stewart.
Stewart, yep.
He does such a great job when he gets his hands on the football.
So the Red Tornadoes in business at their own 46-yard line, where it's 1st and 10. Demetrius will be the lone back in the backfield. This is a tight formation with two wing backs, and now Pulowski goes in motion, and it's Pulowski. And they're going to try to get Pulowski around the end, and Pulowski will not make it this time.
Who was it?
A great tackle down there by number 32, Haupt.
Yeah, Haupt plays.
Yeah, he did a nice job on that play.
Great job. He came from that corner position and strung it out, and came up through two blockers to make the tackle. Loss of about a yard on the play.
All right, it's 2nd down and 11 now, and Demetrius comes out of the lineup, and Kovaleski goes back in for the Red Tornadoes with the play. A lot of success with that play in the first half, none in the second half, as they have closed the corners off somewhat here. Now the Red Tornadoes come out in a shotgun. They have a trips to the right. He looks to the right. He's got Moroz, and Moroz catches the ball at the Warrior 48-yard line.
Covers it up.
Stopped by Silo down there, but a nice catch by Moroz.
Yep, nice catch. But I'll tell you what, once he caught the ball, he covered it up, double arm, made sure he had control of it when he was going down.
Roman will take the play in now for the Red Tornadoes as Moroz steps off onto the sideline after the catch. Pulowski comes out. Demetrius goes back in for the Red Tornadoes. It's going to be 3rd down and a long 4 for the Red Tornadoes here at the Warrior 48-yard line. And it's going to be Demetrius, and Demetrius fighting his way down, and he's going to make it down to the 44-yard line.
Yep.
He's going to be about 2 yards short. It's 4th down, and my guess is the Red Tornadoes are kicking. And there goes the punt team in. We waited to the last second to send them in, and they are going in, so the Red Tornadoes will punt. Washaleski will be punting to Cristini. Cristini standing down along his 23-yard line. Center is back. It is up. A nice kick, and Cristini driven back inside the 20 down to the 18, and still on his feet. Oh! And he is absolutely buried down there.
66.
By number 66, Higgins. Oh my goodness, what a hit by Higgins. Watch the replay, folks. He gets past the
Dietz. He gets past Dietz.
And he's going pretty good. And boom,
that was
into
textbook tackle right there.
I tell you, that was I Carumba tackling right there on a cold night like that. All right, 1st and 10 Warriors from their own 23-yard line. They trail 35-21 in the game, 8:54 and counting here in the 4th quarter. I formation, McNamara in front of Haupt. And it's going to go to Haupt following McNamara, and He
They have to-
pushes the entire crowd of them up over the 25-yard line, out to about the 27-yard line. About 4 on the play. Call it 2nd and 6.
That you call a student body. That is truly a student body. They're pulling everybody along with the 2 halfbacks leading through off tackle. And Tornadoes are having a hard time. They seem to be tackling high. They have to hit these guys a little bit lower.
All right, that was actually an 8-yard gain,
Yep.
guys. When they finally put it down, it was 8 yards. So it's 2nd and 2. And it's Sillo this time. And Sillo fighting his way, and he's going to pick
tell you
up
what.
the 3rd down. He was stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Yep, that was a loss. He would have lost about a half a yard
Yep.
that time. Nobody wrapped their arms. He got hit 2 other times, picks up the 1st down. He is a tough runner. He keeps his feet moving at all times.
Demko on the stop, but not before Sillo picks up the 1st down. It's 1st and 10 Warriors from the 34. Now we're back in the I formation with McNamara in front of Haupt. And it goes to McNamara in a quick opener, and McNamara is going to gain a couple
Look at-
of yards
what
on
a
the
tough
play.
run.
But he's still moving there. Again, you're right, a tough run by McNamara. Moreau's helping down there along again with Demko, who's having an outstanding defensive football game for the Red Tornadoes.
Steck makes the initial hit at the line of scrimmage that time. But the fullback continues on and picks up 3 yards on that carry.
Okay, again, out of the I formation. It's the 2nd down and 7 now. And we pitch it.
Pass.
Haupt's going to pass. Got a man downfield. It's a Morgan. Morgan, a great defensive play by Morgan. You couldn't be in any better position than Morgan was on that play.
By Morgan. But I'll tell you what a heck of a pass.
Yeah.
That was right on the money. If Morgan was not playing as tight as he was, that was a touchdown pass.
Yeah, Haupt had somebody coming in fast on him, but he stood his ground and let it rip. And again, Morgan just made a fantastic play to break that pass up, as he was not fooled by the play at all. 3rd down and 7 for the Warriors. Again, they're at their own 37-yard line here. And it's going to go to Sillo. And McCullum tackles Sillo in the backfield for a loss, and it's 4th down, and it'll be 4th and 10 for the Warriors. And now they have a decision to make. Do they kick or not? And they say, yes, we will kick. Time running short now, under 6 minutes and 40 seconds to play. So they had to think a little bit about that before they made the decision. But they decide they're going to kick, so Beresford will come in and kick to Moreau's. Moreau's standing back at his own 35-yard line as Beresford gets ready. And when you look at Beresford, you think he's going to kick the ball 20 miles. Fair catch signal by Moreau's right at the 39-yard line. It's 1st and 10. Red Tornadoes from their own 39-yard line here. They lead 35-21.
Good play by
That was a good
Moreau's.
defensive play on that last defensive stand also. That was a nice play by McCullum.
McCullum makes a nice play, and also breaking through there with Stack. So the 2 of them either had a stunt going on, because that's where McCullum came through, or, boy, they just played some tough defense, and one followed the other.
I mean, McCullum tackled Sillo in the same spot that he got the ball in. He never budged from where he picked the ball up at. We're going to come out in an I formation now. We're going to put DeMarco in front of Pulowski. It's Pulowski. Pulowski's free in the out over the 50-yard line. The ball hit the ground, but I believe it's going to be down, and it is at the Warrior 46-yard line. It's 1st and 10. Red Tornadoes, one guy, and that was a touchdown.
Yep. Number 31, I think it was at that.
Yeah, 31 made the stop finally. Christini.
Yep, Christini makes a stop, but I'll tell you what, Pulowski had a head of steam, some great blocking in the center of the line for the Tornadoes. Opened everything up, and he was right through in a shot.
What a play that was. There was a hole wide open there in the middle. I said it took Christini to stop the touchdown. Moreau's brings the play into the Red Tornadoes now as they're in Warrior territory here. It's 1st and 10. Tornadoes taking all the time that they can here in the huddle.
This is a critical series here for the Tornadoes. They want to use up as much time on that clock, but yet move the ball down the field.
DeMarco, the lone back, and he's going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage. A sack by big number 53 on the play, and that is Sam Sheehan.
Well, you take a look at the defenders on the defensive side. That defensive backfield is giving some cushion to the receivers for the Tornadoes, and those long routes are taking a long time to develop.
Right.
And since that's the case, Wasilewski has to sit in that pocket a little bit longer.
Hey, Shaheen popped Wasilewski that time. That's the third sack, I believe, of the game now for the Warriors. It's going to be 2nd down and 16 now. The ball back in Red Tornado territory at the Red Tornado 47-yard line, as Demetrius now the lone back, and he gets the pitch, and he's heading for the sideline, and he is not nope. He made the turn. He's going to gain a couple of yards on the play.
But they are
driven out by Russell down there.
They're stringing the ball out a lot quicker, a lot longer this time, and taking it all the way out as far to the sideline as possible.
Well, that the left side there is where we made all the yardage in the first quarter, and they've closed that corner off. They've adjusted very well to that play, at least to the left, and we're not able to turn the corner like we were. Pulowski now brings the play into the huddle. It's 3rd down and 15 for the Red Tornadoes. The ball up at the Red Tornado 48-yard line now.
4 minutes and 50 seconds left.
Out of the shotgun, we're going to fake a shovel pass, and then we throw it to
Demetrius,
and he's not going to pick any yardage up. A very good play by Brock Larson.
What happened was there was no penetration by the defensive line. That was supposed to be a shovel pass to DeMarco on the inside coming off tackle behind the rush of the line.
Now,
that did not happen.
alertly knew that it wasn't there and took it back at the last minute. Shoveled it over to Demetrius. He was not able to pick up any yardage. It's 4th down. There's a timeout on the field by Montoursville at the 4:35 mark of the football game. They trail by 14 here and are about to get the ball back.
Tough game, a lot of strategy again going on both sides of the field, but the time here is certainly against Montoursville with 4 minutes and 35 seconds. But we did see them score within a minute of getting the ball with a couple long runs. So they, they do have the ability to put some points on the scoreboard yet.
All right. Didn't get any warmer, folks. It's probably in the high teens right now here. In case you're wondering, those of you who are listening to us from a warm climate on the web, I envy you at the moment as my breath is beginning to freeze as it comes out of my mouth here as it gets colder and colder. Although the wind has completely died down now. There's no wind at all right now. A very cold and clear night right now here at the Silver Bowl as Wasilewski goes in punt formation. Christini standing down along the 20-yard line. All right, Pulowski checks. Flag down. And I believe it's going to go against us. See what they say. Usually it goes against the offense on that play. Now, there was a lot of movement there, but it is against us. Yeah, that's what I thought. So a motion penalty against the Red Tornadoes pushes us back even further. It makes it 4th and 20 now, and the ball will be sitting back at the Red Tornado 43-yard line. So we move Christini 5 yards up to the 25-yard line now to receive the Wasilewski punt. Center snap is back and good and up and a nice kick. And it'll be Christini back at the 26-yard line, and DeMarco has a hold of Christini and holds Christini to no gain. Absolutely no gain. Of course, Matt Dietz came in and said, hey, let me help out. Let me give you a hand on this.
Well, I do believe there is a competition between Dave DeMarco, and Matt Dietz on specialty teams. But DeMarco showing his speed there, and that's what you need. You need good coverage, some speed. It was a short kick, good catch there, and by Christini. And he tried to pick up some yardage there going to his own sideline. But DeMarco closed that gap in real quick and makes the tackle.
All right, we come out in a split backfield now from their own 29-yard line, and now Haupt goes in motion, and Singer's back to pass again. And Singer is going to be buried by Steck. I mean buried by Steck.
Steck jumped up in the air and came right down on top of Singer.
Here you see the replay, folks, and
Oh, look,
watch,
they moved the
Steck
ball
come
up
out of
about 4
nowhere.
yards. Yep, look at
He was actually tackled around the 17 is where the hit was, but they brought it back to
the 20.
just about the 20. It's going to be 2nd down and 20 now for the Warriors on the big 10-yard sack by Chris Steck.
3 minutes and 45 seconds left in this game.
Back in the split backfield, and this time it's a draw play to Sillo, and Sillo
Nobody's
breaking
tackling
a
high.
bunch of tackles. You're right, you've got to tackle the man low.
Yep.
If you don't hit him low, he's going to carry it down the field, and he did there.
I'll tell you what, and again, you alluded to this at the beginning of the game. They're not big
Not
halfbacks.
big backs. No, they're not real
Not big, but I'll tell you what.
They're
they
strong.
are strong.
Yeah, they are strong.
These kids are strong.
But he actually bumped into a guy.
Yep.
And didn't get any reaction from him on the play. All right, let's call it 3rd down now. We'll call it 10, right back to the original line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 10, and Haupt again goes in motion. Singer now rolls out. The first we've seen him do this tonight, and he hits Russell for the first. No, he didn't get the first down.
Short.
He's going to be short
By about a yard.
Russell's going to be out at the 38-yard line. They had to get to the 39. It's 4th down. Now this time they're going to go for it. They have to. We're under 3 minutes and 14 seconds in the game. It's 4th down and 1 at their own 38-yard line for the Warriors. We're under 3 minutes to play here now as they come in that split backfield, 1 yard. All they need for the first down. And it's Sillo. And Sillo did not get the first down. The Red Tornadoes have taken over on downs. What a play by the Red Tornadoes on defense. And it's Red Tornado ball, 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line of the Montoursville Warriors.
Trying to see if that was Kovaleski that came in from the corner and drove him back.
I was hoping to see the replay on that too, because you have to watch so many things here when you're watching a play like that. But we hit him in the backfield. Sillo had no chance at the first down, and they have turned the ball over at a crucial moment in this football game. 2:47 remaining in the football game. We'll get that from Jose, and who actually made the big stop when we get the stats. All right, I formation for the Red Tornadoes, and it's going to be DeMarco. And DeMarco, a penalty flag, they grabbed his face mask.
Yep.
So a face mask penalty against the Warriors, and that's the advantage of being small like DeMarco. They reached out, and a normal guy would have been his shoulder pads. It was him. It was his face mask.
His face mask. You can see his head buckle under that time. So I don't think this is an inadvertent one.
I don't think there is an inadvertent in high school. No, we were having this discussion the other day. They're all 15-yard.
There you go.
Yeah, you don't get inadvertent in high school. So they mark off a 15-yard penalty against the Warriors. They'll place the ball all the way down at the Warrior 20-yard line, where it's going to be 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes. 2:41 now in this football game. This is a District 4 AA championship football game. The winner moves on into the state playoffs. The loser cleans up his helmet and goes home. Wasilewski into the huddle. The clock is running now as they blew the clock back into play as soon as they marked the penalty off.
As you can see, 2 minutes and 25 seconds left.
All right, Wasilewski in the center. He's in an I formation. He has DeMarco in front of Pulowski, and he's going to wait for that guy to raise his hand. There, 5 seconds. He waited for him to raise his hand, and it's Pulowski. And Pulowski kind of chipping and cutting his way for a couple of yards inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. He was tackled down there by number 47, Pat McNamara. And McNamara, the leading tackler on this Montoursville squad for the year. And the Warriors not calling time out here. 1:52 and counting here in the ball game. For all intents and purposes, it looks like a very big win by the Red Tornadoes here against a very good Warrior football team. All right, I formation this time. It'll be Demetrius in front of DeMarco, and they must do this on a whim somehow. I'm not sure how they decide who lines up in front of who here, but Wasilewski standing at the line of scrimmage waiting for the back judge to put his hand up to signify that it's only 5 seconds. Demetrius carries it into the 15-yard line. He is stopped down there by Haupt, but the clock continues to pound away here. It is 3rd down and 8 for the Red Tornadoes. They are in absolutely no hurry. They take their time getting the play in here. We are now under a minute to play here. The clock running at 59 and counting, 56. Pulowski will bring the play in. DeMarco comes out. It's 3rd down, so the Red Tornadoes will go on 2 downs anyway. They'll run the second play after this, depending when it.
39 seconds.
Again, Washleski standing straight up at the line of scrimmage, watching the back judge to signal 5 seconds. As soon as he does, he hands it to Pulowski. Pulowski stopped in the backfield down there on a nice tackle by Shaheen again.
Yep.
Shaheen had a great defensive game for the
25
Warriors.
seconds left, all intent.
It's under 20. They will not run another play. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes are the 2008 District 4 AA champions.
Great game by the Tornadoes. They came out in the first quarter, did some flexing of muscles, moved the ball down the field. Second quarter got caught up a little bit, but never bent, never broke. They just stayed in this football game, and I think one of the big keys is that it was the speed of the Tornadoes all around that won this game for them. Defense played fantastic again. Trevor Demko, again, flexing his muscles along with Steck, especially in the second half here.
Yeah, I think Demko, Steck, I think McCullum had a great football game tonight. He really did. And I think that defensive backfield on the run support really did a heck of a job. They really did. Again, we said it early, the worst thing can happen to the Warriors is they get behind early, and they did. And as you can see, they're just not designed to come back from a deficit. Once they went 3 touchdowns down, things got ugly for them. Again, they just had no passing game. It's a young quarterback. He'll be back next year, and I think they're going to look a little different, obviously, when they come back next year than they do this year. Now, Sillo is a junior, Haupt is a junior. Sillo, number 20, is a senior, so he'll be gone, but Haupt will be back, and he's a great runner. So you're going to see him come back. You see Singer come back, and there's some other kids on this team. You're looking at Beresford, the big guy. He's a junior. Some of the guys on the line are juniors.
Defensively, they lose.
They lose almost everybody on defense. There's not much defense coming back. That's except for, let's see, 3. There's 3 juniors playing. The rest of them are all seniors there, and they lose the punter. The punter's a junior, so he'll be back. So, again, the future kind of bright for the Montoursville Warriors, but the Red Tornadoes have a brighter future, at least at this moment in 2008, as they will move on from this game. This was the final game in the Silver Bowl for these 25 seniors, as they will not play again here at Mount Carmel area. They move on. The next game will be against the winner, and you, of course, when you see this broadcast, you'll already know this.